To a video for your Year 8 Film Music assessment. This is to help you get started and also show you how to complete the task. The first thing you need to do is read the task. Okay, I'll just very quickly do it. It's due in week 8. The most important part is this part here. So you are to create a music composition. A composition is a piece of audio that's your own work, and I've got 5 videos on Google Classroom, and you can pick whichever one you want, and you must create all the sound effects and have some background music, and then we want you to edit the volume, so balance all your sound effects so that there's good balance in the volume. And also we're going to show you how to do some panning and fade ins, fade outs for in GarageBand. They're the effects that you can use. Okay, so I'll take you over to first of all, these are the 5 films that you can choose from. These 4 are probably all about at the same level, but the mouse cooking one's got a lot more sounds in there. So if you like a challenge, I suggest you do the mouse cooking. A lot of students go for the mouse video because it looks like a really interesting video, which it is, but there's also a lot of sounds there that you have to account for. So remember, in the assignment, you need to account for every single action. So that's every time something hits the floor, every time something moves and makes a noise, you need a sound for that. So just be careful that you're gonna have to put in the extra work for that one there. But it is a really enjoyable, rewarding video. All right, so the first step, once you've downloaded your video, of course, you have to click the 3 dots, which sometimes you have to open it in a new window and download it to your computer. So once you've done that, you're going to go to Classroom, and you're going to download this. It's called the template. So you click the 3 dots, you go to open a new window, and then you click the download arrow. Okay. Double click on that and it will open to this. Okay. There might be a file in here or two. I'm just going to delete that track actually. So you should have pretty much a blank score with a number of tracks. So the tracks you can add by hitting the plus button, but right here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks. So you can have 5 different sound effects occurring at once at the moment, which is enough for this assignment. The first step is you're going to put your video into the movie track, which is up here. So you go to File, and you go to Movie, and you go to Open. You then have to find where the file is that you downloaded from Classroom. So it should be in your downloads. So I'm going to type in Scare, because I'm going to do Monsters Inc. Scare. I'm going to double click on that, and you can see you get a little pop-up. This is good because it allows you to edit and watch the movie at the same time. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Now this is the movie track here, and this is the audio track here. So we've got audio here, and then movie up the top. Now we're deleting the audio. So what I want you to do is to right click and go delete track, because you're going to do all the audio yourself. Okay, so that's important that you delete that. Or if you can't delete it, you could just hit that mute button there and leave it on mute. So now we've got a video with no audio. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to import sounds. So we're going to go back to Classroom. You're going to go to the list of sounds, and I think this one is the best website. So we're going to go here. Let's just say you want a doorbell sound. So we'll click on that. Okay, let's just say that's not the right doorbell sound. So maybe you'll type in church bell because you want a church bell. All right, and let's have it. All right, so let's just say that's the sound you want. You click on that sound. Then you go to the bottom of the page, and you always click the free version, MP3. You don't pay for the sound. Okay. So what you do then, you've got a zip file. Down here it says zip. Now the zip file you can't put into Classroom, so you're going to have to open it up. Okay, now I've got to find the church bell. So the zip's been opened up, and that's the file there. And then this is the actual file. It's an MP3, which is what you need, and it's church bell. So we're going to go to GarageBand now. Then we're going to go back to Finder. And there's the church bell there. And you just drag and drop is the only way to do it. So you can see here. So we've got a church bell now with the clock. So let's just say that this file's too big. So you go to the ends of it. Okay. And we chop that up. Okay. And let's just say we'll make it a bit smaller. Now what you can do, let's just say you just want a little bit of the file. So you don't want all of this, you just want this tiny little bit. So I go here, I do a right click or alternate click, and I go split. Oh, that didn't work that time. Let's try here. So you right click and you go split at playhead. And then let's just say I want to do the same here. So now I've actually split it 2 times. I've got 3 different tracks. And let's just say you might only want a little bit of it. So maybe you just want that. And then maybe you want to copy that somewhere else. So what I do is I do Command C. And then I pick it on this track. And maybe you want it further down. Or maybe you want them to start one after the other, like that. So you get a bit of overlap of the sound, okay? So it'll sound... Okay, so sometimes things like footsteps, you might have one tiny little footstep sound, and you're going to have to copy and paste that maybe 10, 20 times, depending on how many footsteps there are. Now, these are your volume controls. So obviously, if it's too loud, you turn it down. And if it's not loud enough, you turn it up. This is your master. So that's how much is coming out of your speakers in your laptop. So if it's crackling or distorted, turn that down a bit. These purple buttons should not be on at all. So if they're on, make sure you turn those purple buttons off. Same as this yellow button. This is called a loop button. You don't want that on at all. Okay. The last thing I want to show you, other than creating new tracks, which you do there, and you do plus microphone, and then you don't need that. So they've added track number 6 here. Now the last thing you can do is you can record your own sounds. So say you can't find the right sound that you're after, so you decide you're going to record it. So you pick the track where you want it to occur on, and you press the red button. All right, and look, my microphone doesn't actually work, but what will happen here is you'll have a red file pick up from your laptop microphone. Okay. Now the last thing I want to show you, other than that, is how to control the volume. So, for example, let's just say you want a fade in on this church sound. You have to click this button here, which means automation. All right, and then it has to be on volume here. So what you do is you see this white line is your volume, and you're going to click there. It didn't work. All right, now the automation. Oh, I accidentally clicked that button. That's why. So these blue buttons need to be on. So there, the yellow line is your volume, and I'm going to put in a couple of dots. I'm going to put in 3 dots. So if I take the first dot down, you can see the volume's gone down. So this is going to be a fade in. Okay, and then let's just say I want it to get even louder at this point because maybe there's a climax, and then I'm going to put a dot right at the end because it's not working. There we go. Because maybe I wanted to fade out. Okay, so you can see here, I'm going to move those out of the way for now, that the sound is going to creep up slowly and then creep down. So you've got a fade in and then a fade out. Okay. All right, so that's a nice, really smooth transition that will really enhance your piece. To turn off these yellow lines, you need to click the automation button off, and that's saved. So when you go back and play it, you'll watch that the volume will go up and then go down. Alrighty. Now, the last thing I want to show you, which will just make your working on the assignment a little bit quicker, this over here is your zoom button. So sometimes you need to zoom in a lot because let's just say you're cutting this bit out of a file. So you need to, say you just want that little bit there. So you're cutting just before it starts, and then you put right click and put split. Okay, so you need to zoom in, but then you also need to zoom out for that. Okay, so if you want to see your whole piece, then you zoom it all the way to the left. If you want to zoom in, you zoom it to the right. Okay, that's really going to really help you work efficiently and know where you're at in the piece. All right, that's it for GarageBand. I really hope that you guys enjoy, and any questions you can always email me. Thanks, guys.